Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I welcome you to this webinar where I will be telling you about the top 7 presentation skills you need to excel or master to nail a job interview. Yes? And so before we even start, let me just quickly tell you who is this presentation for. Okay, so this presentation is for somebody who is going to prepare or who's going to go for the next interview, or who's going to go and go for a job, who's looking out for a job. And so these interviews may happen over phone calls or maybe face to face, but looking at the current scenario, most of them might be virtual. Yeah. So you have to be very well prepared about how your entire presentation as a candidate happens and is successful. Yeah. So this is for all those people who are trying or who was planning to go for a job switch. Having said that, let me tell you a quick intro about myself. Who am I? I'm Nikita Mhatre, the founder of Presentation Success Community, and I'm on a mission to help more than 1 lakh entrepreneurs, professionals, students achieve success using presentations as a tool. Yeah, so I have more than 10 years of industry experience, which has helped me hone my skills about presentations, about reviewing, as well as giving effective presentations which are well remembered. So let's begin about our today's session of interview about the presentation skills. Yeah, so the top presentation skills which will help you get hired, the way you are presenting yourself. And it's not necessary that you are always using a PowerPoint presentation or a slide or Google Slides or Keynote slides. But an overall, you're always in a presentation mode the moment you're talking to somebody. You have a listener, you have an audience in front of you. That is the time you are going to need presentation skills. So these are 7 presentation skills, what I'm going to talk in this, describe in this coming session, are going to help you whenever you are going for an interview, and how you should master these, how you should fine tune these. Yeah, so not wasting much of your time, let me get down to the first one, wherein you have to understand your audience. So whenever you go, even in presentation skills or while you're presenting to somebody, the moment you know your audience, it helps you fine tune your talk, your content according to their needs. Now, how does that matter in an interview, in a job interview? So what do generally candidates do is they go and research about the company. But is a company going to ask you for an interview? No, it's an individual. It's ultimately a human who's going to sit in front of you, or virtually or over a phone, and listen to you and going to ask you questions. So you have to know, and most of the times it is said or it's detailed in your interview schedule, who is your interviewee going to be. So beyond your company research, if you go and research a bit about that individual, that is certainly going to help you fine tune your content. Now, how to research about this individual? You can go and look them up on LinkedIn. You can see what they are posting on Twitter. You can go and check what they are posting on some social media, any YouTube channel if they are active on. So this not only helps you understand what your probable interview questions can be, but it also, if you are in a current scenario, if you're going for a virtual interview, that time it helps you fix an image of a person who is going to interview you. The image or the photograph of the person gives you a feeling of connection. It helps you build a connection with your interviewer. Yes. So after this, so you have to understand your audience. Now the next thing is tell the story of you. Now, what do I mean? Tell the story of you is you have to always connect. You have to, the moment you go and sit for an interview, they ask you to walk you through your resume. Now they have already read it. You are certainly not going to read that your resume aloud, but you're going to walk them through your journey of where you started, how you were qualified, what is the qualifications, which city you were born and brought up in, which college did you study in, what was the specialization you took as, what were the percentage, or if you were a topper there, what is that significant difference you made? Probably in MBA or an engineering, some project that you won, or the project which was aired, or project which was selected, which got an award, or which was bought had caught the attention of mass media. So that is something what you have to tell throughout your journey of your resume. And then post that, you have to tell them key facts or key milestones what were happening in your past. So these key milestones, you have to weave them together, and then you have to build a entire storyline and tell them why you are the right candidate for them. Yes. So the story of you, maybe some personal experiences as well. You learned from them and you helped, or you used those experiences to create a difference in a role in your earlier organization. That might be really helpful. That might be impactful. So this storytelling about you will certainly be well narrated, well received. And who doesn't like stories? From childhood itself, we have been used to listening to stories. We have been used to, we have been used to listening to, we feel more connected with them. We feel more empathetic to the storyteller. We feel it's as if it's a real life experience. We feel more connected. Yeah. And that is the reason storytelling helps. So tell a story of you. Whatever you've listed in your resume, put that in the form of a story. Yeah. Now, next is the call to action. Create a call to action. So what generally in presentations happens is you create a call to action by showing them the last slide of the presentation. So that could be either call me or connect with me, like or share this, or you can reach out to us on this handle, blah, blah, blah. However, what will be a call to action in an interview? In an interview, a call to action will be something like, you hire me for this. And for this, what you have to do is you have to summarize your entire resume in less than 30 seconds. You have to create an elevator pitch about yourself and show them that why you are the right candidate for them. Give them a feeling as if the moment they have already hired you, and you are going to bring these differences, bring these changes in what they are currently facing. When our job requirements or job interviews scheduled? One, when there is a need. One, when somebody else is leaving, they are looking for a replacement. And one, when they are expanding. So you have to understand this. And how will you understand this? You will understand by listening and understanding the audience, listening and researching about them. What is that, what they are planning to do? Yeah, so this call to action is certainly has to be very crisp. Okay, now next is use storytelling to make your resume come to life. As I said earlier, everybody since childhood loved listening to stories. So how will you put your resume into stories? So there might be, generally they ask questions like, tell us some experience or tell us some project of similar, of similar tasks or similar responsibilities. And how did you solve that? Now you have to, if you are going to answer that, how are you going to answer that? You create a situation, you create, define a problem, okay? And then in that problem, how were you the hero? How did you create a happy ending? The main character was you. Yeah. And how did you solve that entire problem and you made a difference? That is what is going to be well received. They are going to feel, yes, this is the right candidate for me to hire. And this is something what I have already done. This is not something what I'm cooking up or something, but this is something what I have done in my earlier job, job interviews. And sometimes, because they may not know which projects and what were the circumstances, what you had faced, only and only what you are going to tell and how you are going to tell. Even if a problem was very small that you solved, but if you make that problem look big, and how that problem was solved by you is going to make a difference. Because now, why do you like movies? You like movies because it has a story in it. Nobody likes movies which doesn't have a storyline. They don't like listening to patches. They don't like listening or watching just images with some animation or with some sound effects. They want a storyline. If they are investing 3 hours, they want to hear something that will make them feel confident about the candidate. So use storytelling to make your resume come to life. The next is you have to rehearse your interview. So now if that's a dream job of yours, would you go without any rehearsals? In presentations, generally, every presentation is well rehearsed before, and it's not only once, multiple times, with some mock audiences as well. So the same thing happens or can be done with an interview, with a job interview. You have to rehearse your interview. You have to ensure that you practice, you call some colleagues, you call some friends and sit in front of them and ask them to ask you some certain set of questions what you are going to be asked. And these set of questions will be, you have to prepare. So as I said in my earlier point, the interviewer doesn't know what project or what were the circumstances. You have to tell them that these were the circumstances. So the moment you crack it up there, you have cracked your interview. Okay. So everything is what you are the driver of your entire interview. You have to ask, or you have to tell the interviewer stories, or you have to tell your facts about your qualifications, about your problems in such a way that the next question, or the next question, or the next things what he's going to ask is well known. Yeah. So that is the way you have to rehearse your interview. You are the driver's seat of your interview. Now, next about this, after this is, now you've driven your interview. You have cracked it up with your content, with your powerful stories. You have cracked it all together. Now, what is that? What is going to make a difference? Your body language. Yeah. So body language. Now, in so your moment you are watching your body language. By that what I mean is, if you are going and presenting, or going for a face-to-face interview, the first thing what you should do is you should stand up and greet your interviewer. So don't think of it, this is my personal experience, don't think of it as a more of an interview. The moment you start feeling connected with the person, that even if the interview doesn't crack, you've built a connection. That is something what is going to empower you and make you feel more comfortable. Shake hands, greet him with a smile, and be positive, stay calm, stay smiling, stay cheerful. That itself will drive most of the presentation or most of the interview. Yeah. So watch your body language. Also, if you're presenting, or if you are greeting, or if you're meeting the interviewer over a phone call, the tone plays an important role. How you elevate, or how you talk, that plays an important role. That I'll cover in the next session, or in the next point. The next thing about your body language is, you have to be very while you're talking, you have to ensure, if you're feeling nervous, keep your hands on the table or below the table, clasp them. If you're feeling very claustrophobic, have a sip of water. Yeah. And if you just the first thing what I said is, smile. The moment you smile, it releases hormones, it releases toxins which help you reduce your nervousness. So always keep smiling. It will smoothen the process of your interview. It will make you less nervous. Trust me, it has worked for me. The next thing is, you have to control your voice. What I mean by controlling your voice is, you don't have to start to end it. You have to start to win it. And how will you win that? You have to give time to your interviewer to make notes. Remember, he is interviewing multiple candidates. So he has to highlight, or he has to make note of those key points. What are going to make a difference? How he is going to compare you from the others. So control your voice. Give him enough time to make those notes. Understand with your, by asking him questions, or with his sounds of acceptance or acknowledging that he is convinced with your answer. So control your voice in that way. Elevate your pitch whenever or your tone whenever needed, or whenever you want to emphasize on a certain point. Yeah, and that is the way you are going to drive your interview, and you are going to come out with success. And this has helped me. This has certainly helped me get 3 job offers whenever I thought that, okay, this is something what I'm not going to crack. But this structure of presentations has certainly helped me crack interviews. And for this, if you rehearse or if you practice more of giving presentations, if you improve your presentation skills, you are certainly, it's like a cakewalk for you, to go and give your interview anytime, because you know the structure, you know how you have to drive that interview. Yeah. So remember that. So let me summarize that. The first thing is, you have to remember, or you have to understand your audience. The second thing is that you have to tell them a story of you. The third thing is, have a call to action. The fourth thing is, tell them a story of you in a way of 3-act stories: situation, problem, happy ending. The fourth thing is that you have to tell them that you have to tell them about your control your body language, rehearse your interview, and maintain or control your tone, or the way you speak. If all this is fine-tuned, anytime you go for an interview, there are high chances of you cracking that interview. Yes. Thank you.